Hey, welcome back to our promised two-part video of Love is Blind Season 3 reunion recap and review. Woo! We're taking on, a psychological explanation of who was the real villain of this season. We're taking that on. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Have fun. Make sure to like and subscribe, like this video if you liked anything about it, and subscribe to see more psychological explanations of stuff from our complete scientific point of view.
Yes, we will have a lot of content coming out soon, so make sure to show some support if you like our videos, like them. Make sure to comment, make sure to engage with our videos, subscribe,
please,
turn notifications on, and we'll be coming out with even higher quality content in the next coming weeks. Thank you.
Enjoy.
We're here to talk about one of the most controversial couples of this season, in our opinion, Nacy and Bartise. They're in the pods, and honestly, it seems like they are hitting it off great. Like, Bartise has a lot of energy. Nacy's a lot of energy. Nacy's a giggly gal. Giggly, gaggly, googly gal. Like, she loves to laugh. And that's great. And it seems like Raven and Bartise are hitting it off until, of course, that moment in which, Bartise is pouring his heart out and Raven is exercising and he can hear it. And hey, yeah, like you want someone who's going to listen to you and take like what you say seriously. So, okay, he chose not to be with her. I do think Bartise definitely knew what Pilates was. SK says he didn't. I believe him. Why would SK lie? Why would he lie about like not knowing what Pilates is? So I do think that's why he kept Raven around for so long. Because he was like, I'm a fitness dude. You're a fitness gal. I know for a guarantee you're not bigger. I think that's what it was. It was a little bit of like Shake in season 2 being like, can I carry you? would I be able to carry you? It's fucked up, but like I think that was part of it. He's like, oh, she does Pilates, like the body must be crazy. And it was. Then if that was your main priority, that's my thing with Bartise. If that was your main priority, because it seems like it was when you got out, you should have stuck with her. If she's doing jumping jacks while you're crying your heart out because your grandma died, frick it. You know what I mean? She's got the body and that's what you care about. So ride through it. Get a therapist. She's not going to be your rock, and that's okay. But he decides that that's not what he wants. He wants Nacy, who's a ride or die for him. Nacy said, I get home from work tired. I don't want a shower. I don't want food. I want Bartise. And he loved it. So why didn't you keep that same energy when you got out?
Bartise was like very affected by Raven doing her jumping jacks, burpees, Pilates moves in the pod. And that's what ultimately made his decision for Nacy. It seemed like on the show. Going into the show, Bartise seemed to have this great connection with Nacy, and Nacy had this great connection with Bartise, and they both were very happy with their decision. And ultimately he proposed, and everything seemed fine and dandy.
Nacy made me so mad, to be honest. They got out the pods. They run to each other. He like grabs her, like they're hugging, they're making out, they're doing all this. Yeah, and then they get out of the pods. And again, evil host, evil show, throw them together. They immediately throw them together. They all get to see what each other looks like. But before that, they get their one night together. And Nacy had with Bartise. And I think, if a man isn't going to like you, I do think if he's not going to love you, it doesn't matter when you, to be honest, like you could wait 3 years and he'll still do you dirty. You can do it that same night you just met him. If he's not going to like you, he's not going to like you.
I think Bartise definitely made it seem like he was 100%. He was like ready to give himself completely to Nacy. And for that reason, she felt comfortable having, and obviously like she should have probably waited, but like you're not thinking, you just got proposed to. you are ready to put your hands on this person, and they both seemed like they were for it. And then it just eventually, like, in hindsight, that's when you realize, like, oh, I probably shouldn't have done this, to the very distasteful acts that he does at the pool party.
Yeah. So pool party. So bad, so cringe, so disgusting. Yeah. I mean, because I think he says the same thing to Nacy that he says to Raven. He's like, you know, look at us. We're the two hottest people in here. And I will say, no. And you're opening the door to cheating. Why go and say anything in the first place?
Now, also when he talks to Raven sees right through that. That's exactly why she rejected him. She sees exactly who he is. And I'm just sad that Nacy couldn't see that either.
We get to hear where he tells her exactly. He says, I loved seeing Raven. I loved it. Highlight of my year was seeing Raven, like, smoke show. Like, I get it, you're being honest. But what he, like, as Nacy, like, me as Nacy, what do you want me to do with that information?
He was, like, saying, putting his, like, chess move down, and he's like, it's your move now. Like, I put the time clock down. Like, you tell me you want to break up with me because I just told you this other girl is better looking. And also, like, Nacy, like, immediately should be like, oh, like, she took a risk because he was younger. He was 25 and she was 30, I think, 31, 32. And, like, that should have been the first sign, like, oh, like, this is who I'm going to be with. This is a 25-year-old and this is how he thinks.
What I wanted to say is he, in this conversation, he's like, you know, like, me and Raven, we just had so much in common, you know, and I see her and I love seeing her. She's a smoke show, whatever. And, you know, but you and me, we had that emotional connection because, you know, like, you're ugly compared to me. That's what he's basically saying. It's what he's saying, you know? But you and me, we had that emotional connection, and I proposed and I chose you, and here we are. Not even, and I'm glad I chose you, and I made the right decision. And here we are. And that's the other thing. Nacy kept defending Bartise, like, in the wedding, when she was like, Mom, please, like, Mom. It's like, you look so dumb, and I get it. You don't want your family to get into it. I would also, if I was in that situation, I'd be like, please back off. Like, I'm going to say what I'm going to say. I don't need you to fight my battles for me, because I would have went off. I would have went off here. I guess we can move into the wedding. I mean, I was hoping so bad Nacy would say, I don't. You have no idea. Like, I was like, please, Nacy, like, City Girls up one. Yeah, I hope she said, I don't. And honestly, I get what she means by blindsided. Because, I mean, we knew, like, me and Gio, we knew he was going to say no, because she sends him this, like, care package, you know, and it's, like, all his stuff, and he's bawling. And it's like, if you're going to say yes, like, why are you bawling? Like, it seems like you're guilty. So we knew he was going to say no, but Nacy didn't.
I mean, I could have put $1 billion he was going to say no on day one, if I'm being quite honest with you. I mean, yeah, like, obviously he was like, oh, she's a great girl, like, we love each other on, like, the wedding night. And it's like, yeah, he's obviously going to say no, and he just feels bad because he obviously, like, he has, like, a soul. Like, he's like, he obviously feels bad. He's going to say no, but, like, yeah, the same thing about the energy is, like, the energy directed at Cole should have been directed at Bartise. I think Bartise definitely didn't do as bad as things as Cole did. Bartise definitely, like, ignored Nacy and, like, didn't give her the physical, like, intimacy she wanted because he wasn't attracted to her for some reason.
Yeah, the silent treatment after they bang, after he saw Raven, heartbreaking. But again, Nacy, that's him telling you, he's showing you. He does not care. He does not like you. Say no. Why? Why didn't you say no? And, like, her family getting involved, like, it was crazy. But, like, yeah, I mean, I figure, like, my family probably would have done the same, you know? But it's just like, you should have said no, girly pop. He gave you every reason to say no. And I get she was blindsided because I guess towards the end he started giving back. But it was probably to blindside you because he didn't want you saying no. Because again, he thinks you are a pile of garbage, looks-wise. And it would crush him for someone who he thinks is a pile of garbage looks-wise to reject him. So he led you on to create this false sense of security that yes, he's going to make it work with you. Yes, you guys had your disagreement on abortion, but apparently he's okay with plan B. It's a lie. He would definitely abort the baby. It's a lie. He was just finding something to argue about with you. So there was like, oh, there was a string, you know, when you find anything wrong because you want to get out of there. But yeah, I think he did create a false sense of security, and he is really fucked up for that, you know. But him and Cole were both 25. And Zanab and Nacy, they should have known. You always trust your gut. If you don't go out with someone who's younger than whatever age, it's for a reason. Trust yourself. Trust your intuition. That goes out to all the ladies. I will say, I think part of the reason people are directing so much energy at Bartise is because there is no blame to put on Nacy. She was so nice. Why? What could we say about Nacy? You know, we can't say anything about Nacy. She just wants to laugh and have a good time. But overall, yeah, I mean, Nacy, you should have left. I can't fault her for feeling like, no, we're gonna make this work. This is obviously, none of us have been through this before. But let's just move on to the next couple, the final couple. We're gonna talk about the cutie story, of course. Oh, one thing I will say about the reunion and Nacy, I do think she was directing a lot of action to Cole and not enough to Bartise. Like, that's who you have your beef with. Put more energy there. I get it. We all hate Cole. No, we don't all hate Cole, but we'll get into that. Yeah, let's move on. The reason why we're here making this video. This is obviously the scene from the Cuties clip that was shown after the reunion. Now, the reason I'm here is because on Twitter, on social media, I began to see a lot of people were Team Cole. Lots of people coming to Cole's defense after the reunion. Lots of people saying Zanab is a liar after the reunion, all based off this Cuties clip. We saw the clip. My mind did not change. I still very much think Cole was in the wrong. I still very much think Cole said a lot of effed up stuff. The only thing that's changed in my mind is that Zanab should not have picked Cole. That is her fault. She shouldn't have picked Cole. And yeah, maybe she could have been a little bit easier on like the cleaning stuff. That's what I fault her at. Did it seem like she didn't like him? Some people are just like that. Some people just express themselves that way, to be honest. But maybe she didn't like how messy he was. She has a right to not like how messy he is. You're 25. Get it together. Anything to say?
No, yeah, like, I definitely think it was like, I just didn't understand why so many people were coming to Cole's defense. It was really, I was racking my brain all night, quite frankly, trying to figure out what could possibly be the reason Cole is being protected by all these people and why so many people are taking his side. I really, after this, watching this story, like watching this clip, I definitely still on Zay's side. And I just find it just completely unbelievable that people would be on Cole's side. The only thing that I would focus on Zay as like, yeah, she probably shouldn't have chose Cole, but maybe she also wanted to take a risk like Nacy. He's a young guy, but she's like, we'll give this a shot. He seems like a nice guy. He seems like a guy that would be there for me, but obviously that was not the case. And as again, like Alex and Brennan said, don't let roommate don't let roommate issues be marriage issues. But it is also annoying, if I'm being honest. Like, it is annoying to feel like you're not, it's kind of disrespectful in a way. Like, if you're telling this person, like, oh, can you put the towels away? Can you clean up after yourself? And they don't do it. It does kind of feel like a disrespectful thing. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's maybe Zainab was letting roommate issues be marriage issues. Yeah. But I think given, like, we can critique stuff from a historical, sociological, we can critique it from lenses. Like, we can critique it with race involved, sexism involved. So I think, when you want you don't want to just, like, if you're going to be in a marriage, you don't want to hide parts of yourself just to assure that the person's going to want to be with you. And maybe that's what Nancy was doing, because she was way too nice. Like, crazy nice. Maybe Zainab's being like, I'm not going to tolerate mess. I'm not going to tolerate incompetence. And I'm going to say it to you. And she probably could have said it nicer, but I think she was saying it as nice as she could. I think she knew Cole was a little sensitive. And she was like, hey, could you maybe pick up your towels? And, like, maybe she didn't say it as nice as I just said it right there. She's like, but, like, could you maybe pick up your towels? Like, maybe not leave them on the floor. That's her trying to be nice, I think.
Yeah, and it's like, also, if she was being rude about it, it's obviously not nice to, like, feel like your partner's being rude to you, but it's also like, you should know. Like, you're 25.
Yeah, and I think, before, like, if we reel back to the pods, I feel like I remember I thought they were cute. I thought they would work. It was obviously after the pods, when the pool situation happens, where it's like, oh, it's actually, I think it's before the pool situation, right? Because they bang. I think they also bang. And she takes off her makeup, and Cole makes a comment about how different she looks without her makeup. What? Why would you say that? Why would you say that? Why? Don't make a comment like that. I think people to be like, oh, she was just insecure. She just came in with so many insecurities. Everyone's insecure. Is there not one person who is not insecure? I think the prettiest girl, the prettiest guy in the world is insecure. Everyone has insecurities. They might not all be physical insecurities. Some might be, oh, people think you're dumb. Some might be people think you're shallow. Colleen had an insecurity. Everyone has insecurities. So we get to the first night, and he's making comments about your appearance. I wouldn't like it if someone made a comment about my appearance. And it's like, there's no way you have no suaveness to you, Cole. There's no way you don't have swag. Like, if you think she looks different, that's okay. But, like, why would you say that and not be like, oh, you look so much prettier without your makeup, or, oh, you look so pretty, like, without your makeup? If you love her. If you love her, you'll say that, because you do believe that. So how are you just going to be like, oh, you look different without your makeup, and not elaborate? Just let her mind go. Like, part of being in a relationship, I think, is to reassure your partner, especially when you're just coming out of this crazy situation where you fell in love emotionally and now you're seeing each other for the first time, and you're going to say, I look so different without my makeup. Anyway, the next thing is obviously the pool party. We already talked a little bit about the pool party, but now we're talking about it again, emphasizing on Cole. Cole makes it his mission to seek out Colleen. Cole and Colleen wanted to be Shane and Shayna from season 2. They thought, oh, our names are similar, like, let's do infidelity. Yeah, goes up to Colleen, is like, oh, like, obviously, like, I'm having, Colleen's like, oh my god, is there any troubles between you and Zanab? Like, please tell me there's troubles. And he's like, yes. Like, immediately, he's like, yeah, there's troubles. Like, how do I connect my emotional connection with my physical connection? Like, there's, like, physical there, but, like, I wouldn't pick her. Like, out of all the girls here, like, based on physicality alone, I wouldn't pick her. And you just said that about her makeup, like, her looking different. So it's like, you're obviously saying messed up stuff. You say you wouldn't pick her. You tell Colleen that she's more your type. What separates Colleen from Zanab? I don't know. It's just weird to me. It's messed up that he would say that, and he keeps defending Colleen in the reunion. He makes sure to jump in and defend Colleen and be like, it was me. I was pushing the conversation. I shouldn't have said anything. You're defending Colleen hard. He says that about Colleen. He tells Zanab, right? He tells Zanab, what is she supposed to do with that information? Now I know that you like Colleen and you think Colleen's more attractive. And she's like, then go be with Colleen. Exactly what I would have said. Exactly what Nancy should have said. Then go be with Colleen. Like, I think so many people are turning on Zanab, because the thing is, people are saying Zanab is a villain for having insecurities, for not being a nice, sweet little girl and being like, oh, like, hee, when he...
I mean, just as like an overview thing, like, if you're not 100% going to like try to make it work with someone if you immediately aren't physically attracted to them, such as I guess Cole and Bartise on the show, then you shouldn't even be on the show.
Let's see what else. While they're living together, like, yeah, maybe she could be nicer, but like he said he was gonna cook that dinner, right? That dinner where they're doing the chicken and then he pulls out the Nerf gun. Like, I'm pretty sure he said he was going to cook that dinner. No prep time went in, like, head empty. There is a mental space that goes into cooking and preparing a meal, and it's a responsibility, right? If sweet potatoes take a while to cook, sweet potato fries, guess what? You start that first. You don't cook the chicken first. And we just want to say, I'm 23, Gio's 22. We can both cook a meal. People on there are like, well, Cole's young, like, she shouldn't go so hard on him that he doesn't know. I can trust Gio to cook a meal. Like, you should be able to. She has to step in and try to make like an edible meal out of this food, right? And she's doing that. He didn't even season the chicken right. Like, what? It's not hard. And yeah, maybe he just doesn't know how she likes her food to be seasoned, and that's not his fault. He doesn't know. He likes it a different way, she likes it a different way. But if there wasn't seasoning on both sides, how do you just put seasoning on one side of a chicken? Afterwards, he pulls out the Nerf guns out of the microwave. Why are they in the microwave? Why are the Nerf balls in the microwave? I get it, it's supposed to be something cute, funny, and yeah, maybe they just weren't meant to be with each other. Maybe she couldn't appreciate his like sense of humor. But if you said you were gonna cook me a dinner and I have to step in and save this dinner because you can't do it right, and then you're gonna pull out a Nerf gun and shoot Nerf balls at me while I'm cooking this dinner that you couldn't cook, yeah, I'm gonna be upset. I'm not gonna talk to you nice. Me in the kitchen, if you're not doing things right, I'm gonna get upset. Gio knows this, and Gio can hold his own weight pretty much in the kitchen, but I still get upset if you're not doing things the way that they should be done and the order that they should be done in. The kitchen is it's a wild space. It's an intense space. Any top chef will tell you that. If it's too hot in the kitchen, get out, Cole.
Talking about Top Chef, like, I don't know if y'all have seen Junior Chef, but those kids are 8, 7 years old, and they can cook. What are you doing, Cole?
Yeah. And I mean, it's just true. Like, Cole should have known too. Like, we're putting all this blame on Zay. Like, she should have known, dating a guy who doesn't have furniture. He said he was getting the furniture. Okay, she was willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. He said he was on it, and she was willing to give him the benefit of the doubt, right? And she just, like, she should have known, right? I guess she should have known. But Cole should have known that if you're going to get with an older woman, she's going to expect you to not be a child. Like, she's not going to be attracted to a child. I think most married women, and I'm not a married woman, but I think most married women would say that they have to take care of their husbands. And they're not attracted to their husbands when they act like children. You don't want to be happy go lucky with them. You don't want to laugh at them throwing paintballs when they can't even cook a meal.
And it's totally nice being playful and having fun, and that those things are all fine and dandy.
But it's like, if you're trying to impress this woman, you know, if you really like her and you think she's beautiful, you want to look good in her eyes, you're not going to fuck up the dinner. That's all I'm saying. But he obviously didn't, because he wanted Colleen. But let's move on to the next thing. I think the next thing they show in the reunion, obviously, it's the wedding. Oh, no. The next thing is he calls her bipolar. That's the next thing. Same dinner, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, how, now that she's mad at you because you messed up this dinner and you're throwing Nerf balls at her and she's not okay with this, you're going to call her bipolar? You're going to diagnose her? In my opinion, if in that moment she knew, I'm not going to marry this guy, but guess what? I'm going to string him along. I'm going to get to the wedding and I'm going to read you to filth. If that's what she was, let's say that's what happened and she's an evil villain for that, I support her. You basically told me I was ugly, that I look bad without my makeup. You went to another girl who you dated and rejected, and you said I would go for you instead. Like, I wouldn't pick her out in a lineup based on physicality alone. And then you're messy. You can't cook me a dinner. You can't cook me a simple dinner. And you call me bipolar. And they obviously talk about how he was saying stuff about her weight. If you're already saying stuff about my appearance, my face, and now you're going to say stuff about what I'm eating, yeah, it's not going to happen. It's definitely not going to happen. I just don't understand where the villain stuff is coming from, unless we completely missed something. I don't see villain. I don't even see villain in Cole. I just think he's dumb.
Cole shouldn't have been on the show.
Yeah, and you know, people said the stuff about the friends clapping. I don't know about you, but like, if someone's disrespecting you and you're in this you're in this you're in this wild situation. You know, you are doing this weird pod stuff. You're telling your friends. Like, the second he said, "Oh, you look so different with your makeup off," I'm texting my friends like, "Oh my God, he just said this." And they would have been like, "Dump him." And when I tell him that he called me bipolar because he couldn't cook a simple dinner, and then he shooted Nerf guns at me, and then he got mad at me because I wasn't super nice about that, and he called me bipolar, I'm going to tell my friends about it. The fact that her friends clapped, not surprising. I don't think she would have been like, "Oh yeah, like, by the way, I'm going to say no." And even if she did, that's her right. He treated her horribly. So let's get into what everyone's been waiting for. The cutie story that they showed after the reunion episode, and which has seemingly turned everyone against Zanab.
I just don't think he should have been saying anything about his, like, her appetite. She's an adult woman. I'm sure she knows how much she'll eat for dinner, and that just didn't need to be said. Even you saw him crying. I think people are probably protecting him because he was crying. But I just don't understand. I feel no sympathy. And I think he deserved what he had coming at the wedding day as well.
People are saying that, like, the cutie situation made her look worse. I don't think she over-exaggerated it. If Zanab wanted to eat a bowl of cherries and 2 mandarins, that's her prerogative. Cole, you are not her dad to tell her to save her appetite. I think she knows her appetite. Like, yeah, that's something a parent says to you. "Oh, save your appetite," because they think they have an authority over you, because they think they know better than you. If she wanted to eat a full rotisserie chicken before your dinner, yeah, if she wanted to eat that before your dinner, let her. She had maybe 5 cherries, 6 cherries before she goes and grabs the mandarins, and he's like, "Are you going to eat those? Is it any of your business?" But for people to look at that and be like, "Oh, she's the villain. She's the liar. I haven't seen her lie." And he says, "I said some horrible things." He's admitting to the fact that he said some horrible things. And we're just all going to say Zanab's a liar if he's admitting to the fact that he said some horrible things. Zanab says, yeah, maybe I could have shown him some more grace. And yeah, maybe she could have. Maybe she didn't have to go so hard on like him not being clean. Maybe she didn't have to go so hard on him, you know, singing and dancing and being a little kid basically. But he should have shown her some grace. Don't comment on her appearance. Don't comment on what she's eating. Don't tell her and don't tell another girl that that other girl's prettier than her. That's showing some grace. But okay, well, you know, we've come to an end. I think I said everything I wanted to get off my chest.
We do respect everyone else's opinions. We understand your points, why you would come to those opinions, but we also have our beliefs. But we're open to hearing what people have to think in the comments and open to changing our mind as well. If something comes up that we agree with, we're not closed-minded. We're very much open-minded.
Yeah, for surely. Sound off in the comments. If you disagree, let us know. And let us know why. If it comes out that Zanab is a horrible person, I of course will retract it, because from what I've seen, from my opinion now, I don't think anyone's a horrible person. But yeah, I mean, this is just one of many. This is just what really, I was so upset by people calling her a villain, like the villain of the season. There doesn't need to be a villain of the season, and I don't think it's her just because she wasn't a nice girl. Like, women can be mean. Men are mean. I think women can be mean. If she was mean, more power to her. She could have spit in Cole's face. More power to her, honestly. But that's just coming from me. But yeah, let us know what you guys think. Like, who was the villain of the season, if there had to be one? Are we the villain of the season? I'm kidding. But the true villains are these two. Let's be honest. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.